Okay, so it is 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. This is the special meeting of the Council of Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in Council Chambers at 216 Main Street, Swan, Manitoba, this 6th day of May 2025 at 5 p.m. Present this evening, we have Bill Gade, Councillors Burick, Zbirun, Kushniryk, McGregor, and Blosha. We have regrets from Councillor Neely. Our CAO is here, Kristi Ronnquist. And we have one visitor with us in the gallery. Mr. Bergen is here from the newspaper. We're going to adopt the agenda. Be it resolved, the agenda for the special meeting of council held the 6th day of May 2025 shall be adopted as presented. Is there someone to move the resolution?
I'll make a motion to move
Okay,
it.
so we have Councillor Burick. Someone to second the resolution.
I'll second it.
Oh, you just missed it. Councillor Kushniryk beat you to it.
That's fine.
So we do not have Councillor Neely. We cannot add to the agenda, but we can remove or do other things. Does anyone have any changes they want to propose? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor? We've got 3 here.
Yeah.
Councillor Burick
Yes.
and Councillor Blosha.
Yes.
Okay, that is carried. So we have no delegation tonight. Sorry, it was on the agenda, wasn't planned to be there. We're going to 4-1 Splash Park. So that's the only topic for the agenda tonight. We have on the agenda is a quote from PlayQuest and a pictogram from PlayQuest of the layout. I don't know if either of you on the phone have a chance to see that, but it is there in the chambers here. We have copies of it we're passing around on paper.
Yeah, I have it on my computer.
Okay, perfect. Councillor Burick, did you find it? Do you want to try and get a copy somehow?
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go over my understanding, and we're going to go to Councillor Kushniryk to have some conversation here. So what has transpired is the Splash Park Committee has raised about $385. Someone will probably correct me on the number because I know $5,000 came in yesterday. So far, they have the quote from PlayQuest, so they've been through a process of quoting with a bunch of different places. They looked for the price, but they also looked for availability and for overall confidence in the project. So PlayQuest came out, looked at the site, did measurements, did all of that, and they were cheaper than Full Flow was. So that's why they've presented the PlayQuest quote to us. The concern is that prices are to increase because of all this wonderful muck we have with tariffs and such. So they've guaranteed this quote for I think another 12 days or so. They say if we want to do it this year we can. They have time to do it. It would be mid to late June would be construction. It'll take a couple weeks of constructing to do it. So there's a quote presented tonight from PlayQuest for one. There's 2 pieces to it. One is for the actual equipment and all the stuff. One is for installing it. The only thing that's not included in that is some gravel and the concrete. The concrete's expected to be around 20 grand. Altogether, this totals about $460, I think, after we get the GST back. Maybe a little less than that, depending on what happens. The quote does have a piece, an optional piece in it, which is a second activation button. The idea of that was to have a low flow version for kids. So there's some of the features are really just for little kids and some are for bigger kids. So have 2 buttons so that if little kids are there, they can just push the little kid button and save us some water instead of using all the features at the same time. So a bit different program would run. So that's in that quote. Basically everything's there with the warranty and such for them coming and doing it and guaranteeing it's done right. I did spend some time looking at could we do it ourselves instead. We could buy just the equipment. That's why there's 2 separate pieces to it so you can see it separately really easily. I talked to a couple people. There's some thought that we could pull it off, but the big caveat is we're not sure we'd get it right. It's the first time we've ever done something like this. And if we don't get it right and we slope the lines the wrong way and water sits in them and it freezes, we've cost ourselves a whole lot of money just to save a little bit. So that's, I talked about some with the Splash Park Committee too and said, what do you think? Do we want to try to do this ourselves? There's probably $50,000 to be saved doing it ourselves, but it's that risk of do we screw the whole thing up if we save that $50,000. I'm not here tonight to say I'm confident enough we could do it. We're the folks that just put a skid steer through the ice in April in a landfill. I'd love to say that, oh, I know our staff could do this, but it's a lot of pressure to get it right when you've never done one before. So I think that's, well, so then the second part is Splash Park Committee doesn't quite have the full amount of money raised. So the suggestion has been that we would loan them that extra money and they would fundraise it and pay it back over the next little while, which could be 6 months, could be a year. There's still money coming in. There's a couple grant requests out yet. So it could be quicker, but it could not be. So Councillor Kushniryk, I'm sure you have commentary too.
They sum most of it up. Really, it is the price increases that are affecting us. The goalposts keep moving, right? We hit one price increase already. Now they're threatening a second price increase, so that moved it further away. Yeah, the warranty of trying to find a cheaper route to do it, it's risky. You know how it is when you try to cut corners, it usually bites you in the butt in the end. It's kind of a time crunch twofold too, to get the installation booked with a company that would still do it this year for us. So yeah, it's just kind of everything came kind of really quickly all at once, so that's where we're at. There are still local donors that have committed that they will give. There are still grant applications out, some fairly big players too, to make donations, so I'm confident we'll reach the funding. It won't take very long. Once it started coming fairly quickly. It was to get those initial ones going. And no, it's got still a fair bit of support and people hoping it happens this year, so this is the only way to beat that deadline.
Who else has thoughts or wants to share them? Councillor
So can you
Zbirun?
tell me how much, you said you were at 385
Yes.
and projected cost was 450?
Right around there, we get the GST back, so we have to pay the GST out, and it takes a few months for it to come back.
Yeah,
But basically,
so 450, so basically they're borrowing 60,000.
about that, yeah. It might be 65, it might be 59, but that's about it. Be around
Yeah.
60.
I'd rather see it, like, if you say it can get started at the beginning of May?
They're talking mid-June was when they would do the install.
Oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
meant to say June, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be done by the end of June.
Yeah, you know, like it's construction. So I think
Yeah.
we'd for sure get August, we'd get half of July. Would we get the first 2 weeks of July? If everything went perfect, great. If it didn't go perfect, maybe not.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have to be realistic. We're not, I don't, like if they show up June 15th and everything's perfectly fine, and June 30th they walk away and it's done, great. But it might
Yeah.
not work out that way. Something
No,
could go
but
wrong.
we'll get some of July in.
Yeah, I would think
Hopefully.
so. Yeah.
Like, that's something that, you said they were available in June.
Yeah, they're talking June 15th is the plan. I think the installer is available for sure. It's does the equipment get here in time? You know,
Yeah.
they've got to work that out, but you know, the intention is mid-June to start. And it's like, it's a day of doing stuff, then you've got to, pack everything. So a couple days of prep, then pour the concrete, and then keep people off the concrete for a few hours so they don't make footprints. But it's, it's really only 4 or 5 days of
Yeah.
work. They might need a little break in the middle if they need parts or something, but they do it all the time. They're supposed to know what they're doing and not
I
get
don't think
halfway
we should
into
be
it.
doing it ourselves either.
Well, no, that's my worry. Like, I'd love to say 50 grand, but if we screw it up,
It's gotta be done, right.
yeah, I don't want someone saying, look, you just wasted $400,000 because you cut a corner and did it
Well, then,
yourselves.
then you'd actually have nothing to go back on
No.
either if you do it yourself.
Exactly.
If we use the PlayQuest installers, it's fully warranted. They cover everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like,
Yeah.
at least you got some warranty. If you do it yourself, you won't have any.
No.
That's all I got.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Bill, I'd say start as soon as possible. You got 80% of the funding in place already, and like you say, they've got the experience. Our men could do it cheaper, but I mean, they're new at it. They've got no clue of, what to expect or what to do. So if something goes wrong, we're stuck. But my opinion is do it, get the experienced people working at it, and go ahead.
Okay. 2 left, who's next?
If we're gonna do it, let's get her done. That's pretty much all I got to
So
say.
you say, if we're gonna do it, are you okay with doing it?
Yeah,
That's the question.
No,
Do
no,
we
I
do it or not?
If we gotta do it, let's do it.
All right. Councillor Zbirun, what do you think?
What happens if you can't raise the money to pay us back? And are we in the business of loaning money?
Worst case scenario, they don't raise the money, we're out another 60 grand.
Yeah.
I would assume, well, how do you feel? What's the odds that it doesn't get raised?
I think pretty slim. Even when we were accepting the grant to the community foundation, other business members approached and said, come to us, we'll give.
You know what happened with the skate park, eh?
I'm not sure I know what you're thinking of, so fill us
Yeah.
in so we all know.
I will fill you in. It was and I know this because
I can't hear him.
Oh,
I like to hear this.
I'm gonna turn the phone here.
what happened
Can you hear him now?
at the skate park.
Okay, I can hear you now.
It was a Thursday. The committee came into the office here, and they were short $25,000. And if they didn't get this $25,000 by Friday, they were going to lose all their funding. So what happened? Is Mr. Galloway, who was stroking a check for $25,000 and said, "Here, go build your skate park."
That was from his son's fund.
And then regardless of what it was from, he stroked them a check. Now, do you guys believe that this is the cat's, I don't want to swear, but meow, let's go with that.
Good choice. Good
The other
choice.
end.
You know, and you think you're gonna get your money back? There's one way of getting it, is stroke a check and wait for your money to come back. And then you show the people that you believe in this project. One way. The other way is we give you a loan.
Which do you prefer?
Well, what do you think? What would you prefer? I mean, another whatever, $50,000, $60,000. I mean, that's still a burden on the taxpayers, right? Regardless, for a year, for 6 months, for whatever. That's money spent that we don't have, that is tied up. Someday, sooner or later, this splash park is going to become a burden on who? Because say 2 years from now, there's and it's definitely not going to be me, you guys. There's definitely not going to be me. But maybe in 2 years from now, there's going to be 4 councillors that think exactly like me. Who do you think they're going to be putting the cost of the splash park on?
But that applies to anything we own,
Well,
right?
That's
It
right,
does.
but this isn't buying a grader.
No,
This isn't buying a semi truck or a backhoe or whatever. This is.
but it's like the library or
I'll tell you.
playground.
I'll tell you. And I found out this from a couple of people in town. This is the bathhouse, is what they're calling it.
Well, I got lots of little people that are pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I've heard that that's what it would be. No offense, if it was built in Swan River, but I haven't heard that about
No,
us
that's-
local.
I heard that a couple of people have told me.
Hey, we
But,
can
I mean,
always
that's-
move it towards 6.
What did he say?
He wants to move it towards 6.
Of
Well,
course
I
he
mean,
does.
okay, Brian, there's another thing. You're talking Ward 6. How many people from Ward 6 are on the Splash Park Committee?
I really don't know, Byron.
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, exactly. How about Ward 5? 4? 3?
They're all welcome.
Yeah, well, I think if they thought it was a good idea, they'd be right on board, wouldn't they?
Oh heck, most committees in town have very few people, and lots of people like what it leads to. I mean, we all appreciate the Lions group. How many people are on the Lions?
I know that this is going to get done. But I want you to hear both sides of the story. I mean, we haven't talked about the insurance for that place yet. I mean, you say that no upkeep or anything, but I mean, the insurance is going to. And everybody I talk to, I mean, it's any place between $15,000 and $20,000 a year to upkeep. They don't care what kind of facility you have or whatever. It's going to cost you money. Now, is the LUD going to cover that, or who's covering that?
So current the plan is it would be at large as just part of recreation. Same as when we were paying for the pool.
And I mean, there you go. There's another thing. I mean, at large. I was reading Wawanisa's budget. Their at large for 2025 went up 13.3%. Just for 2025, and I mean, it's been going up through then, so I mean, I'm sure they're not paying 3%
I don't
or
think
4%.
I don't think Oakland Wawanesa has an LED budget. It's all at large. Literally everything.
No, they have a budget. I read that down. Excuse me.
I
There's
I don't
about
have
that
my
many
glasses.
pages. And they categorize everything from how much it costs for golf balls to, yeah, like it's just, everything is so, but
yeah. I can't I haven't looked up Oakland Wawanesa this year, but that is one of the ones that I actually spoke to the CAO, and she said there's no way to charge an LED. They disposed of it.
yeah,
They're
well, I
fully
mean,
at
still, I mean, they're at large, it's going up. I mean, ours at large hasn't went up since ever. I mean, it was set at, in 2014 or 15 at 3% or 3.5, and now you're telling me it's down to 3.2?
It fluctuates. It's based on assessment is what actually fixes that.
Well,
So I have the 2025 Oakland Wawanesa financial plan. They have no LUD. So all assessment is at large except for some special services fees.
They have a pool. They have
I know, but I mean, they also have a population of, what, 4 times Benito?
oh well that pool would be 4 times the cost of a splash park guaranteed, but that's at large, right?
Yeah.
Everybody pays for it from every part of Oakland Wawanesa, and that's their amenities. See, we saved a pile of money even on our shared services, right? Where we were paying out of the municipality. Now we're spending some in the municipality.
Okay, I'm just, whatever, I mean, like I said, I know this, I mean,
There is one part goes to the old LUD still. In 2022, they did an ice plant upgrade for the rink, and it was charged only to the LUD.
so they had an LED in 2022?
Yep.
So
And
did they get rid of their LED?
They did.
So that, I mean, that takes,
It
you
was
can't
a-
do that in 1 year.
It was a
It takes-
1-year process,
Okay,
and I had asked the CAO at the time, what do they have for extra charge, and she said nothing. She said, we can't do it fairly, and if we want to get reelected, we're not going to. You know, we can't tax them. They couldn't figure out a way. That's why, if you ever see an LED, there's usually a really disproportionate tax, because every dollar there hits so hard.
the Sturgis, I believe it was Sturgis Preschool isn't happy with theirs. They basically more or less said that if they could take theirs up, he would ship it to us and we could have theirs.
Ooh, we should do that. We'll take at least the fixtures.
Anyways, said my piece.
Anybody else have comments, questions, discussion? So are we interested in presenting a resolution tonight on this or not?
I'd say we
Can you
should.
hear me on the phone, or can you not hear
Yeah.
me anymore?
No, I think we should because,
First time ever said at a meeting, I'm
Yes, bring the resolution forward.
Okay, so I have
Sorry.
a sample resolution, but as always, we can make whatever changes we want. So the resolution that was pre-written says, whereas recreation is an important way to attract more residents and help communities grow, whereas the Zbirun Splash Park Committee has nearly reached its fundraising goal, and whereas price increases on equipment are expected shortly due to tariffs, therefore be it resolved, the Municipality of Swan Valley West approve the construction of the Zbirun Splash Park for 2025. Be it further resolved, the Splash Park Committee will continue to raise funds to pay off the remaining balance, but that to avoid the cost increases, the municipality will provide a temporary loan for the outstanding funds so that the order may be placed now. Does anyone want to move that as it is?
I'll move it.
Okay, Councillor Blosha, does anyone wish to second the resolution?
I'll
Anybody?
second it.
Okay, Councillor Burick will second it. Does anyone wish to propose changes to how that's written? We can change whatever we want in there if anybody wants to make changes. Going once, going twice. Any changes? All right, looking for any further discussion on the resolution. Does anyone want to discuss this further? Questions, comments, anything? Last chance. All right, we'll call the question on the resolution. Those in favor? I see 3 here. Councillor
I'm in favor.
Burick, Councillor Blosha.
Yeah, I was just trying to do it on the computer.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't
Didn't
turn
work.
that part on.
It's
Are
okay.
you
Yeah.
voting yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Okay, those opposed? Okay, so I have everybody. It is carried. We had 1 opposed and everybody else is for it. So it's 5-1. I don't believe we need an in-camera session today. Does anybody have anything for in-camera we need? Is there anything further for the meeting? Not an official part of the meeting, but because I like to update you when I can, I had a call today from a resident about zoning at that shop we looked at. So I talked to them for a while. That's going to come up next week. So if you have questions or thoughts and you don't remember it, go look at it again. We will be discussing that next Tuesday night because they want to subdivide that property in 2 and we have to make a decision if it's okay or not. So if you're interested in it at all, call me later, do whatever. Be ready to talk about it next Tuesday so you're not surprised it's coming to the agenda. Councillor Zbirun?
And don't forget to look at the unsightly yard bylaw.
Oh, yes, right.
I did.
No, I'm not interested in the shop. Did we ever get a quote on the cement for our own?
Not yet. We would quote cement and insulation.
Yes.
Okay, anything else for tonight?
Sure.
Hearing nothing, be it resolved, this meeting is now adjourned at 5:22 p.m. Is there someone
I'll
to move
move
the
that.
resolution? I thought you might. Councillor Blosha, and I see Councillor Zbirun as well. Any discussion? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor?
In
And on the
favor.
phone? Okay, thank you. That is carried. Have a good night, everybody.